So this is Dr. Alona Polday, who is my beautiful wife and partner, not only in life, but also in work. And she has extensive experience. She's trained in Western medicine as a family practice physician. She's trained in Eastern medicine, having her degree in Oriental medicine and acupuncture. And she's also a nutrition and lifestyle expert, particularly around women's health is one of your focuses that you enjoy, and nutrition and weight loss, and then helping people improve meaning and purpose in their lives, and working through using nonviolent communication and other complementary skills to help people achieve optimum health and well-being.
And this is Matthew Letterman, I call him Matt, who is, yes, my life partner and my work partner, and has been for many, many years. He is trained as an internal medicine physician, but his training goes so far beyond that in nutrition, lifestyle, medicine, and coaching. And he is one of the only physicians in the United States that's a certified nonviolent communication trainer. And not to mention, he's an amazing dad. His children would tell you that for sure.
And that's been a big passion of ours, both of ours, is parenting and how to show up and be more effective in our relationships with each other and with our children. So we both host the Webe Parents podcast together and spend a lot of time creating different processes and tools to help kids and parents be more effective in life.
So in our practice, we talk about the 9 pillars, and we intentionally created an infinity loop for which these pillars kind of build around. And in the center of the infinity is the self, because really our health starts with ourself. It's connection to ourselves to know what is it that we need, what is it that we want, what are we striving for, what hinders us from achieving what we want to achieve. And then along the infinity, there's what we call our internal world, which is things that you can do, you can optimize on your own. So that is nutrition, activity, sleep, and play, all important pieces that when optimized really help you have enough energy and vitality. We call that resourcing. You feel resourced enough to engage in your what we call the external world, which is your family, your friends, your work, and by that we mean meaning and purpose, not necessarily your job, your spirituality, and your connection to nature and the greater world around us. And the idea is to tend to each of these 9 pillars. It doesn't mean that we have to be tending to all of them at once. That's not going to happen, but there will be 1 or 2 that will call to us that will need that much more attention. And by kind of tending to all of them, you can really elevate your life experience to really find yourself thriving.
The 9 pillars include self, so connection to yourself, what's going on inside you, what are you feeling and needing, and regulation, which we'll talk about more, which is helping your body get from fight or flight to this sense of safety, calm, so you can grow and reproduce and sleep and digest, all those beautiful things that we need to do when we're feeling safe. Once you've done that self-connection, then you go out into the internal world, which is the next 4 pillars. So there's self in the middle, and then sleep, nutrition, activity, and play. And then the other 4 are the external world. So that would be friends and family, work, spirituality, and the natural world. And together that equals 9 beautiful pillars.
How did we come up with the WebeKälm? Well, we have 2 daughters who are now 11 and 13. And they have been the greatest gift in life, but there have also been handfuls of challenges raising these 2 very opinionated, vocal, strong girls. And they have given us ample opportunity to practice a lot of the tools that we share on our podcast, Webe Parents, and they were the inspiration for our WebeKälm.
Yeah, we thought if there was a way to teach children how to calm their bodies, it'd be really helpful, because I don't know about you, but the tool that my parents had was they would yell at me to be calm, and that was the only tool we had in our family. Once in a while, a hand behind the car would be like, calm down back there, stop it, cut it out, but that was it. So we said there's got to be a better or another way, and that's when we thought about all the pieces of breathing, but the kids just don't know how, and once you teach them how,
right,
they'll embrace it.
Because we would say, hey, all right, let's relax, let's calm down now, let's breathe, and our daughters would go and it wouldn't help, and that was our toolbox.
Yeah, they wanted to get it over with as quickly as possible, so we thought if we could gamify it, show them how to slow the breath, make it hard for them to blow out fast. And that's where we came up with this idea to create a device that has a tube where you can only exhale comfortably with a slow exhalation. You can't blow out quickly. And then we said, okay, on top of that, if you blow out, you hook it into this device, we can gamify the breathing so that if you blow out slowly, it holds the ball up and they focus their attention on the ball. So now if you blow out, and then you see the ball go up. So now to hold the ball up, you got to blow out slowly, and then we tell them to try and hold the ball up number of seconds they are old, up until 10. So if they're 7 years old, hold the ball up for 7 seconds. And then there's also some white noise that comes out, which gives them a little bit of auditory regulation as well. So now you have the slow exhalation, which is one of the best ways to turn on the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your calming part of the nervous system. It calms down the fight or flight response and puts the brakes on. Then you have focusing your attention on the ball. This focused attention is also another proven pathway to help calm the body, almost like meditation does. And when you focus your attention on the ball and you exhale slowly, and then you hear this, what's like a white noise almost, put that all together, you have a very powerful calming experience. And then we tell our kids to do it every night before bed. So now the key is to build that muscle. And if you do it every night before bed, and they do a set of 5, and then they'll do another set of 5 breaths, then their body starts to learn this calming experience, and it associates the breathing with the felt experience and the calm. And then at any point during the day, after you practice this for a period of time, you can say to them, why don't we take a Webe breath, even without the tool, and their body remembers. And their body remembers the calm, it remembers what to do, and it knows how to calm down. So the key is building that muscle memory so that at any point, you can build that muscle memory every night by using the device, and then at any point during the day, you can say, let's take a Webe breath, and their body quickly remembers the calming experience.
And it's really neat to see the impact, because we would have, especially with our oldest, who was very and still is extremely energetic, come nighttime, all that energy that she's ramped up over the day is sitting with her at night. And it would take such a long time to try and get her to a space of calm, reading her a story, singing her songs. And after practicing with the WebeKälm, she would take those breaths, and then within minutes, she would fall asleep because her body was regulated, her body was calm, and that is what allowed sleep. And so it was really neat. And I love the point that you made, which is this is a tool to teach them, but they don't have to depend on this for the rest of their lives. Now they know, okay, I'm going to take a Webe breath, and they know exactly what that feels like in their body and how to do it with or without the device.
And you can use it to check in. So when they'll say, I'm calm, I'm fine, but they're bouncing around, you'll say, okay, well, can you hold the ball up for 10 seconds and do 5 breaths? And when they're dysregulated, when their nervous system's worked up, they won't be able to. And then they'll see this and they'll say, oh, wow, because they can only hold it for 5 seconds instead of 10. They'll say, wow, I'm not as calm as I thought. So they start to check into their body and associate and be able to determine, hey, this is calm, and this is when I'm not. And then they'll start asking for it and saying, hey, I'm feeling a little dysregulated. We've taught them that word, but they could say, I'm feeling a little wound up. And they'll ask for the WebeKälm, or they'll practice. And we'll have people also ask us, hey, do you need this, or can they just practice the breaths? One of the things is that it gives you this feedback directly. So by seeing the ball up, it slows the breath. The kids get this immediate feedback that takes the breath and sort of molds it into the type of breath that calms their body. So by using this device, it gives them that mold that they can then fit into, versus when you just sort of freely breathe, you can breathe as fast as you want, as hard as you want, and it's very erratic. So it's really great to train. And then you can use it anytime you're upset, and then this pops off, so you can even keep it in your pocket. And I have one in my car, and I'll just, when I see it, it reminds me to do it. It reminds me to keep my intention of calm. So when the kids see this on the nightstand, they just know that's what we do, like the toothbrush. They just pull it out and they use it and they practice and keep that muscle memory strong.
And you mentioned, but I'm just going to repeat it. So there are numerous things that are happening. There's these encouragement of the long exhalation. There's the visual focused attention on the ball as it lofts. And then there's the white noise. And all of these things are bringing that sense of regulation back to the body. So it's numerous things that are helping the body bring itself to calm. So it's really nice that it's easy to maintain. You can take it apart, you can put it on the top layer of your dishwasher, and it's antimicrobial, it's BPA and phthalate free, super easy to take care of, super easy to clean, and super easy and fun to use.
Let me offer 5 tips for a new startup to market and build its presence. Keep in mind that what we are trying to help you do is make the leap from your new product or your new service to selling it. So with an 80% failure rate in startups, or look at it positively, only 20% make it, there are things you need to do. Number 1, you've got to create a marketing strategy, which means you've got to be looking at the market as you're thinking about developing that product or service. Number 2, you've got to build a brand. And a brand is not a logo. A brand is what describes you. It's like the unique sales proposition. What is it that you're offering that's a takeaway, that's a differentiator, that will help you deliver the sales benefits and solutions that customers are looking for? Number 3, you've got to know the industry that you're going to be working in. Know the competition, know the businesses, know the products and services, know what may be in development in the future. Number 4 is absolutely critical. Always build relationships. Wherever you go, from the moment, even before you started thinking about your business or your product or your service, build relationships with the people that you meet. They will be your source of referrals, of new customers, of referral prospecting, all of those things that you need to do. The last tip, and this is probably the most critical, only 35% of new startups get financing. So if only 20% make it, of that number, a percentage of them have been able to start without financing. Most of them, 35%, will be able to get financing. So keep in mind these marketing tips that will help you succeed as a startup. My name is Alan Coleman. Please join me again for new Revenue Accelerator tips.
One thing that I find really exciting is the science behind the different pathways. So the pathway of slow exhalation, there's studies that show the benefits of slow exhalation, prolonged exhalation on calming the body and the parasympathetic nervous system. There's studies that talk about focused attention and the impact on calming the body and stimulating again the parasympathetic nervous system. Auditory regulation and the calming effects of auditory regulation, there's studies on that. So we just took all these different pathways that have evidence supporting the impact on calming, and we put them all together into one tool. And then we added, which is pretty exciting, is the bracelet, which says, "We be in this together." And the idea is that there's one for the parent and a smaller one for the child. And there's this fourth pathway called co-regulation. And where one person's nervous system will track another person's and they'll regulate to each other. So if a parent is yelling at their child, "Calm down, calm down," they're sending this energy that's actually doing the opposite of calming. But if they approach them to calm down calmly, then they will send and co-regulate the calming experience. So they can co-regulate or they can co-upset. And when we have the bracelet, it would be a reminder. So when you don't have a tool, you might yell at your child, exasperated, to calm down. But if you have a tool and you have this bracelet as a reminder, then you'll be able to go to your child and say, "Hey, what do you think about taking some Webe breaths?" And what will be fun in our family is we have the child also, our children will tell us the same thing. So I have a tendency to sometimes get a little bit worked up, and my daughter might come to me and hold up her bracelet on her wrist and she'll say, "Hey Dad, what do you think about taking a couple Webe breaths?" And it's really wonderful, it really helps me out. So she's co-regulating with me as much as I'm co-regulating for her.
The science behind it is exciting, and what you mentioned, that notion of neuroception or mirroring one another. We know that based on we'll take clues from and cues from our environment and see how to react to that. So if you're in a room with a tiger and the tiger's looking at you menacingly, you feel fear. In the same way, if your parent is coming and yelling at you to calm down, your child's gonna feel that fear and that activation. And when you can come and say, "Hey, let's take a Webe breath together," they're seeing that and they're gonna mirror that. And what's fun about it is, even for adults, it's a great thing to bring ourselves to calm, to lower our state of anxiety in times where we feel really anxious or nervous. And it's fun to do it with the ball, so we can loft it and play with that. But it's also great to just keep in your pocket, like Matt mentioned, and just blow. Once you know how to do it, once you've kind of seen, oh, what does it feel like to loft the ball for 10 seconds? Okay, now I can do that without the ball. And then you have it in your pocket available to you whenever you need.
And then when you get the WebeKälm, we started releasing these ebooks. I think those are fun to talk about because each book is helping bring connection into the family to navigate a different situation. So one of the ebooks is around helping kids connect to their self-worth and their intrinsic value and how to deal with shame. Another one is around how to navigate
honesty and kindness.
Honesty and kindness. When you get, the setting of the book is when you get presents during Christmas, and if the child doesn't like the present, but when I was growing up, if I didn't like something, I was told to pretend that I like it and be nice and be polite. So this teaches you how to be authentic and compassionate and caring for everybody, including yourself, without suppressing your own experience. There's another one on helping kids navigate big disasters. This was on fires because we just had the Los Angeles fires. But any disaster and how to help kids and help them connect to their emotions and their experience while still taking care of what needs to be taken care of. Another one is about to be released on devices and how to help kids navigate device usage, where a lot of parents are fighting with their kids to get off it, and helping kids understand the impact, because I don't think they really understand what devices do to their bodies and their brains. So we're putting it into a way that kids can understand it parents can talk about it, and then they can collaborate on strategies to navigate those situations with more connection.
We often forget that it's not just in the midst of the crisis that children are experiencing those big emotions, it's afterwards as well. And because they're so big, sometimes kids get so dysregulated that they either act out or they shut down. In both of those situations, the WebeKälm can be really helpful in bringing them back to calm and regulation. And in that state, they're more apt to talk about their experiences, which helps them process through them. So please help the Utopian Society Project with this one-to-one and help kids an opportunity to heal.
The Utopian Society Project has partnered with the creators of WebeKälm to bring comfort to children in need, including those affected by fires or disasters, and children living with anxiety. For every WebeKälm unit purchased, the creators donate an additional unit, which is sent to us so we can provide it directly to families who qualify. Units can be purchased through us, and those seeking support can also inquire about receiving one at no cost. Together, we're helping children find calm when they need it most.
This presentation is brought to you by the Utopian Society Project.
The recent wildfires in Los Angeles caused significant damage that affected entire neighborhoods. They destroyed homes, businesses, schools, and community landmarks. The aftermath displaced many families and disrupted the operations of local businesses. These wildfires have been characterized as one of the worst in history. Recovery will require a lot of effort and millions of dollars. Families and businesses will have to find new homes. The lives lost can't be replaced, and the emotional wounds may never fully heal. The families and individuals impacted by this terrible disaster need our help, and the South Bay community decided to take action. A simple social media post resulted in an outpour of love that exceeded all expectations. This is Gabby Fisher. She is the founder of the Utopian Society Project. Her organization has been making our community a better place since 2015. Through different programs and an initiative to spread and inspire kindness. In collaboration with hotel administrators at the Sonesta Suites in Torrance, the Utopian Society Project organized a special event to support families and individuals impacted by the fires.
Risso's Pizzeria in the city of Lomita collected a truck full of non-perishable foods donated by community members.
Polypeptide Laboratories in Torrance donated hygiene products.
Amazon Fresh in Torrance provided 3 large pallets of assorted food items.
Starbucks donated coffee travelers to serve at the event.
Chic Filet on Crenshaw near Lomita Boulevard donated cookies and brownies.
And Pacini Italian Takeout in Torrance donated pizzas.
The Torrance Fire Department and the Torrance Police Department were there to show their support. FEMA was there too to answer questions and provide aid to the people staying at Sonesta Suites through FEMA's voucher program. The individuals who received assistance preferred not to be interviewed, photographed, or recorded. Their wishes were respected and honored. The volunteers played an essential role in the success of the event. We are truly grateful to each and every one of them for their kindness. A representative from the American Legion in Pacific Palisades took some of the items we had left to help the families at the shelters they run. It was heartwarming to see our donations being put to good use. The remaining donations were kept at Sonesta Suites in Torrance to help more families.
When we found out about the fires in the Palisades and in Pasadena, we knew we needed to act immediately. We started working with FEMA to house over 30 plus families in the area. Right now, we currently have 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom suites.
So our crews were sent out for 14 days and they're in charge of rescuing people, trying to help mitigate as much damage as they can and helping the patrons of the city as best as we could. We're just happy that people are getting the support they need and hopefully people can recover from this and move forward.
We're here today helping those people that have been affected by the fires, and I'm very glad to be able to help.
I love how everyone in the community has gathered together to help those affected by the fires. In fact, our transit department, they put together a Stuff the Bus, and we got a list from Altadena actually, and everybody just came together, and not only did we stuff one bus, but two. So everybody in Torrance is doing their part to help those who have been affected.
The survivors of California are resilient. They are amazing beings, and it is so wonderful to see the response from the community, visiting the disaster recovery centers, going to the voluntary agencies. We give information about what other questions they may have about their FEMA application, what other resources there are within the community. And so it has just been spectacular to see the outgiving of Californians to Californians. It's a beautiful thing.
And I found out about this organization from work. They had a flyer hanging, and I wanted to help support if you can. This is a great organization helping people who need it, and let's help each other out.
We do want to let the local community know we still are participating and partnering with FEMA. We still are accepting vouchers for families that need a place of safe haven. Whether you're a family of 4, family of 2, or you have pets, bring them in. We're ready to help you.
Everyone's generosity made this possible, and we are grateful to all the individuals and businesses involved. We can accomplish great things and have a positive impact in our communities if we work together. Visit our website for more information about our programs and ways to help.